start with hooks, which is so much in demand. In fact, some people just start with hooks, but that is the wrong way to start. You have to know class based, and that is how I teach. I teach first the class based component, then hooks, and even in my hooks, I compare it with the class based, and you'll see how I teach. Because today we're going to start with hooks. So let me share my screen now, and so this is my, I've actually created a new project called hooks and just started it, brand new project. It is not the old project which we're using so for such a long time for the past 3 days. This is a new project. Okay, so let's start with hooks. So hooks gave your function component a superpower. Now they have two of the main feature of the class based component which there were, it was not there, and those two features are the state and the lifecycle method. And this special features of hooks came in React in the functional component in the mid of 2020. So it's not that old, so that's why still the old code you'll get it is in class based only. Okay, and this hooks are like the version in which hooks was introduced is 16.8. Right now React version is 18. As of the recording today it is 18. So it's like not bit old, means I think around 2 years back it was released. And now if you're going to start a new project today, nobody is going to start with class based component. You'll see even some new people are there, those who they don't even know what is the class base, but that is a wrong approach. Okay, and we are not going to follow that approach, and I teach in a different way. Okay, so I'm going to do first, I'm going to create a class based component first, which will have some state, and we've seen this many times. And then I'm going to convert it into a functional. Okay, one sec, let me also open it on my mobile, so that if you say something, my laptop battery is gone. Okay, so one sec, let me open it on the mobile, so that if you all, one sec, so if someone says something, I'll be able to see it. And let me also see that, okay, I am live. Okay, yeah. So let me go to the src, and here I'll create a components folder, and inside this I'll create a class counter.js file, and inside this class counter.js file I'll have this rcc and export default and class counter here. Okay, so this is there, and then we'll have this r const, and so we are first creating a normal one. Okay, so we'll have a count normal class based component. Count is there, and then I'll click it, then I'll remove it, and that is done. Now I'll have a, I'll just have a button here, and in this button I'll have the count, and this dot state dot count, and okay, so the state dot count is there, and now we have to increase it. So it's a simple thing which I've done many times, just to tell that how we're going to convert this into hooks. So on click will be there, let us do this here only. So on click will be like this, and then this dot set. See, the problem with classes component is there's way too much of this in this. Okay, this is not that much simple. That was a really big problem. Count is this dot state dot count plus one. Okay, like this. I'll save it. See, I'm talking too much. This. So this is actually a English keyword, English not keyword, English word, and we use this a lot. Okay, so that is like that. Okay, so that is there, and now in the app.js I'll come, and app.js I'll show this class counter. So I'll remove this thing, and I'll do this class counter like this. See, I'm again using this. I'm fed up with this, and this is like working fine. We have seen this earlier also. So now what the main thing is that I'm going to convert this into a hook, and hook based functional component, because functional component didn't used to have the state concept earlier. So now how did we have the state concept? Okay, so like this, let us create a hook counter.js file, and in this hook counter.js file I will have the RAFCE, and here, so how what will be the functionality in this thing? Okay, so let me have a button here now, and let me have a hook count. Let me write the code first, then I will explain what I've written, and I'll compare it with the class count. So I will have this count. Okay, directly I will have it, and state are implemented in functional component, not through some constructor and all those things, because constructor is anyways not there in a functional component. So what we have here, so what we will have here like a const, and we are going to have array description here. That's why I always say ES6 is the most important concept before React. Okay, count and set count. So we can have it like this also, but nobody uses like this, and you should also not use it like this. You should always import this. One sec, you should always import this from like this. Okay, so count and set count and use state is 0, and then I will also have a on click equal to like this, and then set count is count plus 1. I'll save it, and this will not show because I'm not showing it. And I'll come here and do a hook counter like this. I'll do save it, and it will show you like this one. So, and it is also functioning. See, it is functioning, the state is changing. Now let us see why this is happening. So let me make it a bit bigger. Let me go here and let me open it in a different window, and like this. So now let us compare. What is it? What is this all of these things about? See, first thing is that there is no constructor, and here the state was in the state variable. This is not state, and the count is 0. But here, what is there? Here, this count is 0. Is like this use state is, as I told, it's an array destruction. So count is here also equal to 0. But there is one very important difference here. Here, this dot state was an object. Here, it is not an object. Here is like this count is like 0. Here also count is 0, but count was a key value pair. Here it's not a key value pair. We are directly doing this count as 0. This is something which we will consider, because we are next thing which we are going to see will have this thing like we can have the initial state as something different. Here the initial state is 0, here also it is 0, but here it is not containing inside an object. That is one more one important thing, and we can have it a object also like this. So now what is this set count actually? Set count is actually what set state is here. But again what is this? Set state is a generic thing. It will, if there are 10 other state variables also, it will be containing, we will be changing through set state. But here what happens, let me show here what happens. Suppose I want another state variable like name, and which will be controlled through some other thing. Okay, I'm not going to write the code for that. So how I will write it? Const name comma set name equal to not max. I'm not going to have max and all. I'm going to have an empty string like this. Okay, then I'm going to have comma. Here what I'm going to do, here I'm going to put a comma, and this like this I'm going to have like this. Okay, so this is the difference. Here we, inside the object, we have another key value pair, but here what is there? Here we are going to create another variable like this, and now it is got this set name. Again we have to change this thing, we have to use the set name. Here if you want to change this thing in the set state only, we are going to change it. So it is the equivalent of the set state, but this is how it is done in the hook based functional component. And now this functional component have got this superpower of this state. Okay, so this is like this, it is working like this. So now it is done. Okay, it is done. Our hook based content is done, and it is working fine. Hello Ankit, good to see you there. Okay, so now the next thing which we are going to do is, let's learn a bit more about state, because there are only two more most important things which you're going to learn in the hook based things. One is the state concept, one is the lifecycle method. Lifecycle methods are implemented through only one hook, which is known as use effect hook, which we are going to see today also soon, means after this use state. But we have to see some other examples of use state. So let us see that, because use state is not that much easy in hook. Okay, there are some bugs also, not bugs, there's something which you should know. Okay, so I'll come here and do a hook counter 2.js, and it will be ours. EFC. Oh, where I'm doing this RFC. Sorry, RAFCE, like this. I'll do, and then const initial count equal to 0, and then so I am having an initial count variable. Then const count comma set count equal to use state and initial count. Okay, and use state also I need to have, so I'll have this use state, and I'll close this. And then what I'm going to have, I'm going to come here and go here like this, and h1, and count is count, and button is like, we'll have reset, and button is like increment, and button is like decrement. So, and three buttons we are going to have. On click is equal to set count is initial count, and on click, so it will be, increment will be count plus 1, and let me have it a bit more because we don't want this much space in this thing. Okay, count plus 1 and count minus 1 is decrement. Okay, so like this I'll have, and now let us have this count here. Let me have it in front instead of this. I'll remove this thing. Okay, so increment is working fine, decrement is working fine, reset is working fine. So all of these three are working fine. Just to show the concept that we can have it like this also. Now the next thing which we are going to do, we are going to see that famous problem which you see in the class-based component also, and that problem is that we will try to increment five things at once, and let us see that whether this will happen. Yeah, happy evening, Vijay. Okay, so let us do that. We'll come here and do a button and increment 5, and then we'll come here and on click equal to increment 5 will be there, and then const increment 5 equal to like this, and we'll have a for let I equal to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus, set count is count plus 1. Let us see whether this will work or not. So we have this increment 5, increment is working, but increment 5 is only incrementing by 1. And we know why this happens. This happens because React does some performance optimization. When it is seeing that set count is incrementing at such a fast rate, it will only increment it once. But we know this is not a bug. And we have seen this in the class, this issue in the class-based component also. So go back to the class-based component thing and you'll see this thing. So as there, we have solved it to the previous state thing there also. But here the code is much more simpler. Here we'll just have a priv state or count, anything. It doesn't matter. Okay, let us have priv count. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether you're having a priv state or priv count. I think one more is there coming. Okay, so okay, what is this? Joke. Okay, so this priv dot count is when we are using this priv count here, we should use it everywhere else also like this. It's much better because once we're using, and this is a very special case, it will not happen every time. Okay, so this is the now increment 5 is working fine, decrement is working fine, increment is working fine. Okay, all of these things are there, so that is good. That is good. Now the next thing is that now we're going to see two two very important things. Okay, okay, okay. So two very important things we are going to do, and that is that there is some issue here in the use state. There is some issue, uh, especially with the objects. If you take some objects or if you take some array, we are having some issue. Okay, so let us see that issue now. And I'm going to close this, and I'm going to have a new thing like hook counter p.js, and this is the, and rafce is there. Then I'm going to see in the hook counter, original hook counter, I have a state of 0, means I've taken a 0. And here, what we can also do, as I've told there, in your hooks, in a normal class based, it is object by default. Here, it is not object. Here, it can be anything. But what happens if I take an object? See, if I take it an object, there is one small issue which will come. It's not a bug, it's not an error, it's a small issue which we should know. So I'll have a const name comma set name equal to use state, like this, and then I'll have this object. In this object I'll have the first name and the last name. See, I'm having an object right now. I'm having an object right now, and it is having this first name and the last name. So after this I'll have a form here, and then I'll have a input type text and value equal to name dot first name, and on change equal to e set name, like first name is e dot target dot value, and we'll have the same thing again here, and the last name is like this. And we are also going to have a h2 here, and which will be first name is name dot first name, and last name is name dot last name. And I'm going to have one thing more here, because see, I'm going to tell you here there is an issue here. Okay, and when there is an issue, we should do a console log, but inside a return statement I cannot do a console log. So how to do the console log inside a return statement? There's a very good trick is there. So h2 I'll do, and I want to see this, what is there in this object, json dot, how I write json dot stringify, json.str. Okay, why I'm not getting it? Because I have to do it inside this thing. Okay, json.strin stringify, json.stringify. Can I open it like this? Okay, not. So I was thinking. Okay, name, json.stringify name I have done. So what will happen? This name, whatever is there in the name, it will show me. Okay, json.stringify name I have done, and now I will come here and do the hook 3. Let me do this hook counter 3, counter 3, counter 3, hook counter 3, and save it. So now it is coming here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to write a bindu, I'm going to write Biswas. See what is happening. The moment I write Biswas, see the first name is going away, and moment I write here something, the last name is go away. Why is this happening? This is happening because the merging is not happening automatically. Merging is not happening automatically here. See, when we have a normal class based thing, so what happens here, the merging like this, it is an object, the merging happens automatically here. So here the merging will not doesn't happen automatically in a uh, hook based state thing, use state, because it is not by default, it's an object is a special case. We can take a number also. So for that we are going to use the spread operator. Without the spread operator it won't work. So we have to use it, the spread operator. Whenever we would do this thing, I'll do a dot name comma, and here also dot name comma I'll do, and save it. Now see what is happening. Now what will happen? See, suppose I come here and I will type something here. Now, so what is happening? Dot 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 it is taking. So first time I'm typing. So the last name, even if it is empty, it will take something. Then I'm typing here this one. So what is happening? Even so the first name, if something is there, it will take with this dot dot name, dot name. So this is something which you need to do if you are taking a object. So that is there. Okay. And then uh, the next thing which we are going to do is okay is use effect hook. Okay, use effect hook, we're done with this thing. And this similar issue comes in array also. There also you have to do the if you're taking some array of object or else there also you have to do the this your spread operator. Okay, spread operator you have to do. So let us do the okay let us do the use effect hook. So what is this use effect hook right now? So use effect hook is something which is used in place of literally all the lifecycle method. So what React team have realized, there are only three important lifecycle methods. One is component did mount, one is component did update, and one is component will unmount. Rest of the other things, when I was teaching lifecycle method, I thought that should that your should component update and all those things are not required that much, and we never use it. And that react team also know, I don't know why they have kept it still in the class based component, because we use only three lifecycle methods in class based component also: component did mount, component did update, and component will unmount. Component will unmount we didn't saw that day, we're going to see today. Means I think yesterday when I start lifecycle method, so we're going to see today. So let us see the again the use effect. Okay, let me drink some water. Okay, so we'll come here and okay, so here I'll have a another. Let us do one thing. In this class counter only, we are going to update something. Okay, so means I'm going to have this class counter now. So this class counter is their count. Instead of this count and all, I will write click CLICK this dot count times. Okay, so this is now normal. See, it was happening. Okay, so now what I need this react app you're seeing, I need this to be changed, and whenever to the whatever the count is there. So how to do that? There is a function known as document or title. Not function, there is something like document or title. With that we can change it. But where to put that thing in this class based component? Where to put that thing? We have to put that in component did unmount. Why? Because first let the component be rendered and the state be there, then only we should do it thing. So, and this is also practical example I was telling when I was teaching lifecycle matter. I will tell some practical examples. This is a practical example. Okay, so I will have a component did mount, and here I'll have this document document dot title equal to click this dot state dot count times. Save it. Now it has come here. Okay, now I'll click it. It is not updating. This is still zero. Why it is zero? Because as we've learned in the lifecycle methods time, that component did mount and constructor only done during the mounting phase. Mounting phase, that I'm not touching anywhere in the web app. The moment I touch anywhere in the web app, which is like not just touching, I will interact with it like in changing some state and all. The next time the updating phase running. Updating phase, the component did mount and the constructor doesn't run. So if the component did mount doesn't run, this will not run. Although the render is running, so this is changing. So how to wait a sec? How to okay? So let me see if someone has told something. Okay, so how to do this thing. So this is very simple, and this is the, as I told, this is a real example. Okay, so component did update I have to use, and did update actually take priv props comma div state and document dot title. Again, this will be there. So I will save it and I will refresh it now, and then I will click it. See, it is increasing. So it means for the next time the component did update is running. So we are not here to learn this class basing, but this is also a good example for you to do it, how it can done with the classes. Now we are going to change it to a hook based thing. So again, I'm going to use something which I've already used, this hook counter, because it is the equivalent of that class counter. And okay, so I'm going to use this thing, and here, as you might have seen, okay, so I will have this like hook count time. Let us have some different name here, hook count time, so that you can know that I'm not bluffing and it is actually this thing. Okay, so that is there, and now we'll have a, so how do we write this function set component did not so hooks doesn't have that function. Again, it has something known as hook is there, like it's hook because it has some additional functionality. Like the use state hook, we have a use effect hook. So I'll come here and do a use effect. Use effect I'm going to do, and like this I'm going to do, and document dot title this clicked count times. Save it. Now I'm going to have it here, and hook counter, hook counter, hook counter. I'm going to have save it and click hook times is coming, and see what I've just done. This use effect, this thing. Let us see what I've done. First thing is that click 0 times is coming. This means what? This means component did mount is running perfectly. Now let us see how to run the component did update. Means it is running during the mounting phase. Component did update is already running. It means if you give something like this, actually hook use effect is having 4 5 different. I think I'm going to tell 5 different configuration. Use effect. If you learn like this, you will be confused. Use effect. That's why I teach always the class base first, because if I tell you like the use effect in the most basic way, run in a component did mount plus component did affect did update way, you'll not understand what is this. How to run the use effect with the component did mount way, you'll not understand what is component did mount way. So that's a use effect in the most basic format. Actually, we will pass some parameters here later on. Use effect in the most basic format, run in the component did mount and component did update way. Okay, so like this, so it is running. So this is the thing. Okay, so now the next thing which we are going to do is the another way of use effect, which is the conditional use effect. Conditional use effect we are going to learn. So what is this conditional use effect? So let us update this thing class counter, and we'll add a name here like this, and then I'm also going to have a console.log of updating document title. Updating document title, I'm having this updating document title, and this name is there. So I will come here, do this, and have input type text, and value is equal to this dot state dot name, and on change is equal to e this dot set state name is e dot target dot well, what is this value, like this. Save it. So this we have. Okay, Now we have two things like this input and this two things. So let us again have this plus counter back here. Save it. Plus counter. So see, now I have one input box also. So let me come here and go to the console. Okay, because I have just put a updating document title here. So I'll click it and component did update will run, which is pretty fine. Component did update is running, and but I will type here, and then also the component did update is running, which is not fine. Which is not fine because I'm not doing anything with the name here. Anything with the name, I'm not doing it. This is only used for updating the document title. So why this is running here? This is a performance issue. In a small project, it is not a performance, but in big project, it is a performance issue. So how do we solve this performance issue in the class-based component? So in the class-based component, it is we have this prop and previous state. So we solve it with the previous state way. So what we are going to do if prev state if prev state dot count is not equal to this dot state dot count, then what will happen? If this is not equal to, then only you should run this thing. So let us see that whether this is working. Then I will explain it. If I click here now, it is updating. If I click here, nothing is coming. So why it is happening like this? And what is this previous state? So previous state always keep a count of the previous state, and dot count means the previous count. See, suppose this is 7 right now, the previous count is 6. It will keep that in mind. So suppose now I will click this one more time. Okay, so what just happened? So previous state dot count is now 7, but state dot count is now previous state dot count is 7, but state dot count is now 8, which are not equal to. So this is running. But if I write something here, what is happening? Previous state dot, see, nothing, count is not changing. Previous state dot count is also 8. These are state dot count is also 8. So means they are equal. So this is not right. So this is how we do it in the state based. Okay, state based thing. So now we are going to do the same thing in a hook based thing, and we want to see what the difference is there. So again here, what I'm going to have here, I'm going to have a const name comma set name equal to use state like this. Then I will have a console dot log of use effect and updating document title like this. Let me put the use effect now. So now I'm going to have a input here, input type text, and value is equal to name, and on change is equal to e, like set name is e dot target dot value, e dot target dot value. We have something like this. Now if I come here, okay, I'm not even showing these things, so I'll go to counter, 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 save it. And now this, see, click hook count, this is happening. So I'll doing, I don't know, this is happening 2 times, and this is now increasing. Okay, this is now increasing, and now, okay, it is happening 2 times because nowadays what used to happen, this restrict mode, we need to remove it. So because what happened, latest version have come, so we have to remove this, or else sometimes something shows twice. Whenever new version comes in React, this things happens. I've seen this thing. Okay, so this will counter. So now if I click it, and use effect will run for the first time, and then I will click it, so it will run, it will update, and I will click it, then also it will run. So the same issue is there here also. But how to solve it here? So here it is very easy to solve. We will write like this, and we'll do this count. We'll pass a, see, I always told that here we can pass something. So I'm passing the count. So what does that mean? It means, so I will clear it and I will update it, and I'll click it. It will update it. It will update it. And now if I am going to write something, nothing will happen. So why this is happening? Why this is happening actually? This is happening because now it is telling that use effect you have to run only when the count variable is updated, not something else. So this is a very big production kind of a thing. Okay, in production what happens, there are 10 15 states are there, and we want it to be changed on 2 3 states also. We're going to give the comma. This is a very useful thing. Okay, this method, this performance optimization method, and this is very easy to do it in the your with use effect, this performance optimization. So the your component did update is did mount will definitely run. Component did update will only run when the count is changed, not when the name is changed. So this is easier also than that. Okay, so this is how we have done it. And now we'll go ahead and with the hooks is not yet completed actually. So enough of this counter and all these things. Let us take a different kind of example. Let's take a different kind of example. And we'll come here, and we'll have a now inside this we'll have a class mouse.js. Class mouse.js will have, then we'll have a rcc. Here I'll have a export default and class mouse, and our const is there, and x is 0 comma y is 0. Okay, so this we have. First we're going to see. So now what we're going to see, we're going to see how to run the use effect in the component did mount way. Only it should run once. That is the component did mount. Okay, so we're going to see that. And in this render, I'll have this like this. Then I'll have maybe I'll have a h1, and in this h1 I'll have a x is this dot state dot x comma y is this dot state dot y. So these two things we're going to have, and this last mouse I'm going to show. I'm not having much commenting here, so previous time we used a lot of comments. Okay, so this is where and x and y are showing like this. So actually we have something in your JavaScript thing. We have something in the JavaScript, and in that, what is there? We'll come here and do a event listener, and event listener I want to add it through component did mount, because I want to add the event listener after render is done, and only once. I don't want to add the event listener 100 times. So if I do it through some other place, it will be done 100 times. So I don't want to do that thing. So I'll do a component did mount, and inside this I'll have this window dot add event listener and mouse move, and this dot handle mouse move I have. Okay, this one handle mouse move. What will have in this handle mouse move? I will call this handle mouse move equal to e, and like this, and this dot set state e dot client text and e dot client. This is actually a DOM thing. So with this we will get the mouse position, and see what will happen. The first time the event listener will fire, and the it will that mouse move will be handled. So event listener will be there for the mouse move. So now even if I move my mouse cursor a bit, so x will change, and this is a search state will run. When this is a search state will run, the render will be done again. Okay, then I'll come here. See, this is how it will run. This is how it will run. So that is there. So the same thing. I just component did mount. How do we run in the hook mouse? So we are going to create a hook mouse thing. Let us create a hook mouse thing. So I'll come here and do a hook mouse dot js. Hook mouse dot js I'm going to do, and rafce I'm going to do, and here I am going to do a const of x comma set x equal to use state. Let us have this use state. Use state I'll have, and then I'll have a const y comma set y is like use state like this, and then here I'll have this, and next one is like book x is like directly the x will be shown, comma y directly the y will be shown, and then come here and do the use effect. Use effect we are going to do, and because that is what all the lifecycle method runs on the use effect. So we'll come here and do a first thing. I'll do a console.log use effect updating, not updating document. I'm not updating document title. Console.log book use effect use effect called. I'm going to have this thing. Okay. Then I'm going to have a window dot add add event listener and mouse move and handle mouse move. Now I'll have this handle mouse move equal to e equal to like this, and it will be set as and so directly like this. Now but I will run it like this. This will run in the component did mount and component did update, which is a very bad thing, because component did update it will run. What will happen, it will have a hundreds of add event list. I don't want that. So how to run it in the component did mount way only? I don't want the component did update to run. So I'll come here and do a this empty array. Empty array. This is a very important thing, because component did mount is a very important thing, because we do the API call from there. So I'll do this, save this, and I will come here and do this mouse, 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 and save it. And it is giving me handle mouse is not handle mouse move is not defined, because we take it like this const. The hook use effect is called once it is going. Now it is updating. See, only one time it is going. Hook use effect is called only one time. So this is there. Okay, so that is there, and now we are going to learn one more thing here in this only. So I will have first thing only. So I'll have some console logs, because we're going to console.log and this class mouse component demo, and we'll have a console.log of like this way only. Because first we're going to see with the class mouse only. So we are going to see now the component will unmount code. So we didn't saw it in the lifecycle matrix which we're seeing. So here we are going to have one more thing here, and this will be known as a component will be known as mouse container.js, mouse container.js, and it will be RFCE, doesn't matter, RFCE, and here I'll have a const display, comma set display is use state of not false, use state of true. Okay, use state I'll do, and use state will be coming like this and like this. Okay, so now in this return I will have this div and all. Okay, and one more thing, this mouse container will actually be called it. Save it. Just give me an error. Okay, so this mouse container has been shown. So now okay, now what we are going to have here. Okay, so this div is there, then button is there, and we'll have a toggle display we'll have, and here we'll have a on click equal to this, and set display is not display. Set display is not display. And what I'm going to do here like this, display is, and I'll have this class mouse. I'll have this class mouse like this. What I'm having it here. See, display will only originally be true, so the class mouse will be displayed. The moment I click on this button, it will make the display as false. So it should go away. So I'll save it. And see, this has been shown. My class mouse has been shown, and I have this class mount component did mount is called, and handle mouse is called. So because and I'll have a lot of handle mouse, because this will be called everything. Okay, now I'll come here and I toggle the display. The moment I toggle display, what will happen? This is false and it is gone. This is now false. This is gone. But the thing is that it is gone. If I come here, so it is still not gone. It is still not gone. It's still not gone. Still this handle mouse is running, because the it means that even my component is not there anymore, but it is still, it is the, and this is not a side effect. This is also known as memory leak. This is very bad in programming, very bad in React. So in class based, how do we solve it? In class based, how do we solve it? So in class based, we solve it by, there is a method component will unmount, which I have not told earlier. So component will unmount is there, and in that, what will happen? This window dot remove event listener mouse move, and this dot handle mouse move will be called remove event listener. And I have this component will unmount code also is there. So now let me again go here, and this will come, this will come, this will come, this will come. The moment I do toggle display, see, class mouse component will mount was called. Now nothing is coming, because this is remove event listener. I am doing there. So in component will unmount, you always put the remove event listener, something like clearing everything. You put everything which is clearing. So this is like this. Component will mount is there. Now we are going to change the same thing in the hook mouse, because I want to see how this component will mount is there in the hook mouse. Okay, so what I'm going to do, this hook mouse. Now I'm going to call it in the mouse container like this. Hook mouse I'm going to call hook mouse I'll call. And one thing let me do, which is like Goo- Google form, because I forgot to give that. One sec, before I tell this hook mouse and all, which will be the last thing today. And I have to give the attendance sheet. So I forgot to create the attendance sheet, so it will take 1 second to create the attendance sheet. So for copy, so send, command, shorten, copy like this, and mark your attendance here. Please mark your attendance here, and let us see the last topic now. Okay, so this hook mouse I've done, and as I've told, okay, I have to also have a console log here, console log of, okay, hook mouse handle mouse. Okay, save it. So now I will refresh it. So the hook use effect is called, this has been called, this has been called, and I will toggle display. It will leave it, but it is still running. So how to do this? Component will unmount code here. So this is a bit different here. Okay, this is a bit different here. What happens? There is nothing like parameters or something you have to pass. There is a something which is known as a return. We have to do this return. It's a special kind of return, and we have to do it like this. And we inside this we have to do this hook effect use remove even listen. This is actually equivalent to the component will unmount. So see, we are seeing so many things here. Use effort is one more thing is remaining, which is to do the API call, which we'll see in the next class. So I'll do this like this. So hook call and hook mouse handle mouse handle mouse handle mouse handle mouse handle mouse. This one is calling. Then I will do a toggle display. Hook use effect cleanup is called, and now it is not working. Now it is not working. So now it is gone. Now it's cleaned up perfectly. Cleaned up perfectly. So that is there. And hope you have learned a lot of things today. And this is actually very cool stuff. This what will give you a job. This hook use effect will give you a job. Literally, this will give you a job. This is what people want from. This is what startup wants from you. Okay, this how React in the hook hooks works. This is what you're going to work day in day out in a startup. Okay, that is there. So that is what will be your bread and butter, this React with the use everyone. All startup use this latest technology. Most of the class based thing you'll find in some enterprise level thing. Okay, so that is there. And please, if you have filled up on it, go. We're going to complete this hook thing tomorrow. Okay, and with this I'll end today's stream.